Going live. Hangout is live. All right, everybody. It's Russell Rohde, and joining me today are Dan Thies and Michelle Chance. Corey,
Howdy.
Corey, we stuck in a bag and locked in the closet because we had work to do. So that's how that is. And let's see if you have questions for us. Type them in the chat. Type them in chat. There we go. So display sticky. There we go. So okay, Dan, do you have is there any news to report today here at the news desk?
There's the important news that is not news about not being news. So I think we should probably go ahead and run the presentation, don't you think?
Sure, you could do that.
Okay. Let me go find the thingy that lets me do that thingy.
Well, Corey did unlock the closet, but we locked him in. I just told everybody that you had to work, but yeah. I guess not. You don't have to work.
I snuck away.
There we go. Probably a break from phone calls, right?
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
All right. And while Dan figures out how to do a presentation.
Quit picking on me.
I have to pick on somebody. It's your turn.
Okay, here we
Charlie Brown
go.
song about that.
Oh, there's part of my problem. There's like 9 apps running. Okay.
Yeah.
Screen sharing. And we want to share the MBT hour of pour.
The hour of 4.
Does that look like what it's supposed to look like? Except for the wrong date?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So here's the big news. Everybody's been running around writing articles speculating about the theoretical underpinnings of the new Penguin algorithm, which has not actually been released and is still under development somewhere in the bowels of Google. And I'm sure it'll come out and land on us like it usually does. But the big story that's been going around is somebody decided to publish an article that said that the Penguin algorithm may launch as early as next week. Of course, that was a week or two ago. And it was all based on, deliberately, I have to say, because I'm trying to be nice, but sometimes you just can't be nice, misquoting somebody from Google who was speaking out there at SMX. So what the guy said, and I've got numerous first-party accounts that were taking notes, he said that he had talked to the web spam team a couple weeks ago, and that they said that any release of Penguin update, which, by the way, we've been waiting for more than a year for now, was at least several weeks away. And so someone, and I don't want to name him because, well, you'll find his byline on the original article that all the others are spun off of, decided to apply the following logic to that. So the word several could mean as few as 3, so it could be as little as 3 weeks, and so Penguin could launch as early as next week, and then they write a story that says, a Googler confirms that Penguin may launch as early as next week.
Hey, Dan.
Yo.
We still see the hour of power slide, my friend. Is that what you meant for us to see?
No.
Okay.
Oh, darn it.
We're not seeing the full screen.
There we go. Now we can see the next screen.
And did you want to actually be in presentation mode, or do you like the look of edit mode?
I'm in presentation mode, but apparently you can't tell that.
No, I can neither confirm nor I can confirm that's not true.
Okay, great. Well, I'm going to stop sharing my screen and figure out how to work this thing all over again.
Nah, just do it the way it is. People can see
I think it's fine like that. At least we know we can see it, right?
Yeah,
okay, well, that's the news. Leslie.
What? What?
Do you believe that Penguin may launch as early as a couple weeks ago?
No.
Do you believe that a Googler said that that was going to happen?
You know, I don't believe Google.
Other than not specifically enough ruling out the possibility.
No, I sorry, I'm not believing it. So, not happening. They're not going to release it before the holidays. It's just insane. You know, it's just. I mean, of course, it was insane to let the thing out there unupdated for 13 months. So I don't know. But given that they've done it 13 months, why won't they go 15 and do it after the first year?
Well, the reason why they stopped updating it was that updating it stopped improving search quality metrics and was making them worse. That's why.
Okay, well, yeah, that may be true overall, but we know about 3 dozen people who like to vehemently disagree with the
You are, yeah. Who are you telling? I mean, this is insane. They've let this go on for a year, and literally the data isn't updated. So anybody that's been hit by it a year ago is still sitting there waiting for maybe someday Google will let me out of this.
Yeah, yeah. And I was just writing a message to all of our penalty and link cleanup people about this very matter. So it's a sad, sad thing, but it is what it is. Yeah, I think we're going to wait till the end of the year.
Yeah, I can't. I mean, we've seen Halloween updates before, but that's kind of about as late as it's gone. So other than that, we tend to see a bunch of stuff released in January somewhere, and I think that's probably more likely where it falls.
Yeah, agreed. Well, wait a minute, not Farmer, Florida.
Florida was a November mistake. I think that was.
Yeah, that was. I think that was actually. I believe, and I spoke out of this on this at the time. I believe it was an infrastructure update gone bad, not an algorithm update.
Yeah, that's what Mike Graham says. So
yeah, Graham is
to talk to people that won't talk to me. So.
Yep, that's right. Yeah. So okay, well, unless they actually lost their minds more than they have, then it's going to be January.
Yes, unless there's an above-average mind-losing going on.
Now, that kind of begs the question then for the folks that are penalized, well, algorithmically so, suppressed. I guess we'll call it suppressed, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's keyword-specific, query-specific suppression of you from search results. It's not a site-wide thing. So
yep.
One thing you could do is continue to create content and attract people to your content that isn't being smacked on.
Yeah, and of course, I mean, that helps, build your brand out in the wide part of the funnel with just having that conversation with a new client about why short tail converts so well, and it's because if you soften them up with long tail content first, then they know your brand by the time they do that long tail search, and you're not competing head to head with somebody. Because you now have an edge. You have now the edge that they know, like, and trust you from finding you in the long tail. So that would certainly be one thing, is they do content marketing, but there's some other things they could do, just like get the hell out of Google might be a good idea too, right?
Well, they could run ads and run search ads, I guess.
It depends on who it is, but they could do that, yeah. Shopping, certainly.
Shopping campaigns, if they're a retailer that actually sells physical products out of a store, and not Amazon's store, by the way.
Yes, that's true. And so then, I guess, beyond that, after doing shopping ads and stuff like that, there's that. I hear there's this other really high traffic website that some people have been able to make use of. I forget what the name of it is.
The Mug Book. No.
Hangface. No, that's not
MySpace.
Facegram.
Facegram. That was it. Facegram.
Yeah. So we've got we've been doing this universal traffic engine class, which, I mean, AdWords is really part of the plan with that too. Everything is part of the plan. It's really about tying it all together and using remarketing audiences to amplify the value of the campaigns that you're running, no matter what kind they are. And we've been sort of swamped by case studies a few weeks in, about halfway in, and so we thought we'd share one with you today. Actually, I thought I was going to share a different one with you today, but I'm going to actually share that one in a couple of days because there's more to it now that I just found out about, and I don't want to tell the little story when the big story is even cooler. So there's another one that we wanted to tell you about, though, and so this part of our presentation today is called An Interesting Case Study.
I wonder what it's about.
Hey, you like that slide, Leslie? Pretty sexy, huh?
Yeah, it's better than an hour of poor. Anyway,
You know, I'd learned from the presentation secrets of Steve Jobs that sometimes you just want a clear, succinct message.
huh? Awesome. Wow.
So this is a client, a coaching client of ours. So somebody who's a platinum member, but is has hired Michelle to work with him as a project manager, and she helped him put this campaign together. This is what he essentially the primary method that his business was acquiring customers before. So he's been running search ads, and it's a membership site, so it's a lot of content and information and stuff like that. And so he's been running ads for people that are looking for more of the information queries. Those have the advantage of being usually fairly cheap to advertise on once you can convince Google that anybody wants to click your ads, that is. And so his math kind of works out like this. If we get 1,000 clicks from Google, we end up with about 400 free members registered on the website. And that's people that register to get access to more free content. So we'll bring them in on one piece of content or bring them in on an ad that tells them they can get all this stuff if they just register. And of course, after that registration, there's the paid upsell step where they offer to get people to sign up, and that does get some uptake because it's a pretty aggressive offer. But then there's the autoresponder sequence that does sort of decreasingly aggressive offers as they go on. And so out of that 400, we end up with about 100 paid members, and these aren't exact numbers. These are rounding off because, well, I can't even tell you what the topic of the site is because the nice man doesn't want anyone to just go and snatch away his business and copy it. I'm not sure that it'd be that easy to copy, but I understand the concern because I know that some of our members have had somebody go and just knock off your website. And so I understand a little bit of paranoia there.
And so now, Dan, just looking at the figures, I think that, Dan, by the way, Michelle, when next time you're talking to your client, it seems to me like 40% opt-in to free content, we can probably do better than that, right?
We're working on everything, Leslie. Don't worry about it.
40% isn't good enough?
Well, I mean, I know real examples where the individuals involved got 60, and it was the same kind of play. It was, free content opting into more free content. So, and we're not asking them to buy anything at that step, right? That's the key.
That's actually pretty good from AdWords traffic, Leslie, but yeah, it's something that we've also got stuff to work on with it.
Yeah, okay, cool.
More of what we want to work on is what we do in this area down here. But I wanted to let you know about a little campaign that he ran. And this is sort of the universal traffic engine version of that funnel. So it is enhancedified. It is amplified. And so he's only running 2/3 of this right now. And the next kind of phase here is to bring in that last piece and see how we do with it. Right now, what he's been running is ads to the members, the paid members, and of course those people aren't going to come back and buy again because they're already in, but what they will do is share that stuff with their members. And so he had a story, one of their better articles, and one of the things we encourage people to do is put your best content out there and use it in your marketing. And this one ran with a little, just a little one-liner that said, "This has been one of our most popular stories," or something like that. And the numbers on it are pretty insane. The organic reach has actually been about 4 times what the paid reach was. So we've actually had people, more people sharing it than, or more shares than clicks. And then also the big centerpiece of that, though, the real point of the campaign, I'm going to go ahead and just draw an arrow on here right now. Oh, that's an impressive looking arrow, isn't it?
It's, okay, sure it is. That's what she said.
Yeah, maybe we need to make that a little bit bigger, hey? There we go. Wait, so there we go. There's a real arrow.
That'll get it done.
The people that are opting in. So with the website custom audience, it's just a pixel on the site, and then we can remarket to people through Google. We can add them to remarketing lists for search ads. We can do a lot of other stuff that I'm not showing on here, partly because he hasn't gotten it implemented yet, but which also, by the way, magnifies the value of the campaigns that you're running. The big results piece right now is the campaign to the free members. So that's the 400 or so people that have registered but didn't buy. They're getting autoresponder emails. But what he's been doing is running that same piece of content to the free members who opted in, and they're getting, of course, that content marketing. And so when they click through to the website, that gets people into a place where, again, right, there's an opportunity to sign up. But it also allows them to take the membership promos that are running in the autoresponder sequence and run those to those same people on Facebook, where again we're gonna get more people back. And Michelle, the part of the campaign that we were able to get up and running already. I was only looking at the numbers a few days in, and we were running at hundreds of clicks to the website at about 3 cents a click, and at that point, less than $10 actually spent on the whole campaign put together. Do we have any kind of an update on the numbers on that? Have we seen what that? Have we gotten back yet what that's doing on the membership signups? So I'm not sure we actually had analytics instrumented right to measure that.
While you're continuing the story, let me see if I can grab anything updated on that. I don't have any newer numbers than we talked about last week, other than it's just kind of crazy the number of shares. And you may talk about this, but I mean, way more shares than people who actually liked the page. It had nothing to do with how many people already liked the page. It's not like
they had 6 fans when they started.
Yeah, 6. 6.
And I think they're probably approaching 100, if not over 100 already, that are, again, right, that's another channel that we can open up of content that we can target stuff specifically to people based on that affinity with our page and do it at a lower cost. One of the amazing things that we've been finding out is as we've been starting to push the envelope on actually trying to sell stuff through some of the content marketing campaigns is that adding the little ads and adding the little calls to action to the content is actually a remarkably effective strategy. The next piece of the next case study that I'm working on to work out to present, and we want to have for that one we're going to actually build out a bigger map of the whole campaign and show the ad creatives and all that stuff because we have permission to do that in that case. But this is a UTE student who started up the engagement campaign that we talked about in the second and third week of the training, and what they ran was they're a retailer of cosmetics, and they're just getting started, and they're trying to build a premium brand, but we've got a small mailing list, we've got a small list of customers, but he just followed the directions, and did what we said to do. Uploaded a custom audience based on the customers that they had. Fortunately, they had a few hundred, so it was possible to do that. Built a lookalike audience, and what we call a 1% lookalike, which is the most narrowly targeted, most alike lookalike audience to that small customer list that they had. Added a couple of interests on top of that to narrow it down because the custom audience was at 1.2 million people or the lookalike audience was at 1.2 million people when they started. Adding some interests, things that we've researched to know that those people are likely to be interested in, brought that down to 50,000. And because they are selling premium cosmetics, we added premium credit cards onto the targeting, and that got them down to about 11,000 that he was targeting. Now he did this all on his own with simply taking the the instruction that that was given and taking the time to ask questions and let us actually look at what he was about to do during the class time. And that 11,000 people, they spent about $90 running just an engagement campaign. So that's a campaign with a nice piece of content, a really good piece of content that just has a mention and a link of where people can go buy in the article. But it's an oh by the way sale. It's not an ad by any means. It's and the article was about the health benefits and the skincare benefits, in particular one of the ingredients that they use in their cosmetics. But talk about nailing the targeting. Yesterday when I spoke to them, they were up to about $1,200 in sales from that, and were getting closer to spending I think almost $100 on the campaign so far. And of course that's also gotten a lot of clicks and a lot of shares and a lot of organic reach, and those are numbers that I don't have yet to share, that I want to add in to complete the picture so that we can show what all the math looks like. But folks, if you're not using them Facebooks, we really ought to talk about that.
Now, Dan, how was the actual purchase call to action integrated? Was this inline in the content, kind of like almost an ad?
Yeah, it is. The article is it's a pretty long article about some research and the health benefits of this particular ingredient. One that was good enough that a lot of people felt like they should share it. We had some nice line art that's in use related to the ingredient, so it's a nice, pretty picture to share and to get people's attention when it flows through their news feed. But that the call to action in there, and I'm actually I'll be able to actually show that when I get the rest of this to package it all up and share the video with everybody. It's a blue link, 6-word call to action in the article. It's not it's not anything that screams out as a sales piece at all. And other than that, it's on the website, so the website's navigation is there. And this is another case where we didn't get the links tagged for analytics because he didn't wait to get to that part to start running ads. And fine, he made 12 times his spend so far, and so I'm not going to yell at him this time, but I'm going to yell at him for the next one if we can actually figure out from that channel what paths people took through the website, because that's such an incredibly instructional exercise to go through, to look at your landing pages, particularly the content marketing type stuff, and look at what stuff are people doing on the page and where are they going from there. Can tell you a lot about what you want to show more prominently on the landing page to, again, amplify and magnify the results. But for a first run, it's a pretty good example of what happens when you are well targeted and you've got all of the right plumbing in place to make sure that you get to the right people.
Hey Dan, I have some other numbers for you on the first part we were talking about. I don't have the exact spend there, but over 385 shares, 111 likes, and 28,000 people reached, and 80% of that is organic.
And organic in this context, well, it's paid amplification though, right?
Right.
Yeah, it's organic to Facebook because
right.
that reach wasn't actually charged to you. That was reach that occurred when somebody shared after. So the hundreds or however many hundreds of shares it was is what leads to that additional organic reach. Because again, there were only 6 people that we could have reached organically.
Exactly. Yeah.
And now it's 113 likes on the page.
Interesting.
Nice.
6 to 113. Yeah.
Not bad.
So.
Well, yeah, the likes aren't even the best part of the story, right?
No.
But it is interesting. If you talk about your seed launch, right? From 6 people, you got that much organic reach and that many additional likes and revenue. Yeah. Interesting. And as long as those 6 aren't your family members, Anybody can do this. Oh, actually, the six likes was irrelevant though. It was because of the email, the upload, and the lookalike you did. That's really the key. Is
Right.
having.
Yeah, and the lookalike audience. I mean, and what this shows is when you add, even if you've got a very small customer database or a very small mailing list, um, especially a customer list. I mean, those are people that went all the way through and bought your product or signed up for your offer, right? I mean, those are people like them are the kind of people that you're after. So I mean, with this one, we're going to try expanding the breadth of the lookalike audience and keeping that interest targeting intact and the premium credit cards intact, because we should be able to go to an audience that's 2, 3, 4, 5 times the size pretty easily and have this same piece of ad creative continue to work to generate sales.
Right. Right. Indeed.
And the more we can do that, and the more people that we can bring into orbit, and the more people that we can make aware, the more organic sharing we're going to get, and the more we can grow this thing. That's the thing with Facebook advertising. It's kind of a little bit of a compromise between SEO, where SEO style or content marketing style SEO, which is kind of the only thing that is really safe and effective at this point in time, is something that you are making an investment in for a period of time before you expect to see it actually pay off with a net gain. AdWords is one of those things that if you just do it by itself, well, it just looks like this, right? Everybody that didn't land in this 400 or in this 100 is gone. Those 600, you can't do anything else about them if you're just using AdWords by itself. If you're using remarketing lists for search ads and doing this kind of stuff where you use a website custom audience to remarket to those visitors, and of course you want to use the AdRoll pixel or a perfect audience pixel and the Google pixel too. But these content marketing campaigns work to generate money. People don't mind a little bit of commerce involved if there's good content that's riding along with it, and stuff that's really relevant to them, relevant to their life, and relevant to their interests. Excuse me. And so these are early stage campaigns, but we're already seeing the results of good targeting and using the custom audiences and leveraging the relationships that you have. I mean, this is relationship marketing at its finest, and Facebook has built us a great platform to do that, and to build a closer relationship with the people that we've started building a relationship with, and start to sell more to the people that we have a relationship with.
Indeed, indeed. Well, that's an intriguing study. And so is it B2C or B to little b, or what, can you just qualify that for us?
Well, so we've got case studies that are all over the place. These two are business to consumer. These are neither one of them is targeting a business market, and we've got a few more that we're working on getting all the documentation and everything together that are B to little b, and I think we'll have one that's actually a B to big B type of case study, but. The little b suppliers and things like that, we're starting to find that kind of stuff actually working really well, where we're taking companies that are wholesale suppliers and simply adding in Facebook campaigns to reach the people that we already have a relationship with. And I've got another one of our bigger AdWords clients has finally decided to take whichever colored pill gets them to a better place, and we're going to start firing up some Facebook campaigns with them too. So
That's kind of cool. So you're going to have another case study next week, right?
Yeah, we've got, like I say, several in the works. So we've got one or two more that we're going to get out there this week, and there will be several more next week, as some of them are actually part of the UTE course content.
Great. Looking forward to that. Now, one of these students did this kind of like all on his own, just by following the instructions. But many of the case studies, these were people who were working directly with Michelle for help, correct? Dan.
Back to you, Dan.
So he stopped the presentation and now he can't hear. What's going on?
He said, "Hang on, he'll be right back."
I'm going to be back in a few minutes.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, that's cool. Well, we'll just like hang out here. That's what a hangout is for, right?
Right.
So, let's see. What can we talk about? We could talk about.
You want to take it off of Dan though as a focus?
Oh yeah. Sorry, I forgot about that. Um, Stop presenting. There. I'll present. There we go. Okay.
Okay.
Now Dan's back. You good?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I'm okay.
Okay.
Not great.
No, you're good. So, I forgot what I asked you now. I asked you a question. I can't remember what it was.
Yes, these
Yeah.
project management clients.
Yeah. Were those? How many of your case studies end up being your project management clients? People Michelle's working with, and how much of them are just UCE students?
The the first one I mentioned, the membership site, is and has been working with Michelle basically since we started the program, whatever, a month and a half ago. And the other one will be working with Michelle soon, and possibly also working with us on AdWords. We're not sure about that yet.
You know, it's kind of interesting. While you were presenting, I was playing with the polls feature on Webinar Jam, and so then these were questions that Dan and I had talked about before the webinar. So, do you use AdWords, Facebook, or both for paid advertising? And then we get a 50-50 split. Mind you, there are not a whole lot of people who filled out the form. So, and then which one are you getting the better ROI? It was 2-to-1 in favor of Facebook. And interestingly enough, the third question, which one is harder to manage, was 2-to-1, saying Facebook is harder to manage than AdWords, which was kind of surprising, frankly. So and nobody said about the same on that second one, by the way. That third question, nobody said about the same with the third option. I don't know what to do with that information. Like I said, very few people actually took the survey, but it is what it is. Had to play with it anyhow. Right? So, we do have, let's see, we still have some time yet. We could talk about, speaking of AdWords, we want to talk about what's going on with shopping campaigns and stuff like that. We talked a little bit about that the week before last, right? But any changes there? Any new stuff to report?
Well, we're certainly picking up and figuring out some new tricks each week as we go through with the shopping campaigns, and one of the interesting bits is we've figured out that the best way to manage the actual catalog is in Excel. So we can go into the AdWords interface and do stuff. We can go into AdWords editor and do some stuff, but by far, the fastest way to actually do the job, as it turns out, is to download all of your products as a spreadsheet from Google AdWords. After you've got them connected in, it gives you this all products product group, and what you want to do is actually create little baby product groups that you can use to manage your bids and stuff like that. And horror of horrors, the best way to do that is actually inside of good old Microsoft Excel. And so still a little bit of old school stuff going on. And I think, we've been talking with a lot of people because we've started offering the management service, and it's amazing. Even as much as Google has made it easier that you can go in and if you want to change the bid on this particular product, it's easy to do. But for people to be able to get set up and to bid on the right parts of their catalog, they still are kind of being forced to go out into Excel and grind through it. I guess that's good news for us because we can do it for you. But it's a little bit disappointing for me that the support in AdWords Editor isn't quite exactly as robust as was promised, and that's just because it's such a slow, clunky, one at a time kind of transition between things to make it work in there.
Yeah, I mean, given that Excel is the answer, I think that's the question is, why did Google do such a bad job of the user interface? But anyway, yeah, it's wow, that's surprising. But oh well, it is what it is. Anyways, I mean, that's what you were doing before with PLA, right? I mean, you did it in Excel. Oh, no,
actually, with PLAs, what we did was we did it in the data feed. So we would implement AdWords groups and AdWords labels within the data feed, and then we could bid those based on that. But that was one of the things that stopped a lot of people from using the product listing ads at all, because what you had to implement in the feed, custom for Google AdWords, as opposed to just using your the same data that you would normally use in a feed. Some people were doing okay with basically using the all product target, and there were some other ways, little bits of trickery that we could use, like things in the I don't even want to get into the kind of trickery we had to use back then, because we don't have to do it now. Now you can just edit and decide, and you can bid at the individual SKU level. But what we're doing right now in the class, and it's fun because we're going to have half a dozen of those to do with new clients this weekend, is we can actually pull data out of analytics to give us product performance data. We can also get that out of your catalog if you don't have it in analytics, but it's kind of nice to get the data from analytics. We can pull the performance data if you've been running campaigns from shopping, and then we can pull that all together with the product groups in Excel, mash that up together, and then that can actually just be almost a copy and paste job when we go from there back into set our bids. And so we can actually do quite a lot to set product level bids throughout the catalog, because that's what you want to do. You want to pick your best performers, figure out what the right bid is for that, based on what do I expect my conversion rate to be for that page, what do I expect my average order size and all that stuff, and you can actually get that from the actual performance of your catalog. And so we can actually do the math. In fact, let me see if I can clean up one of the spreadsheets, and I'll show you what the final product looks like. Leslie, does that sound okay with you?
Yeah, sure.
Because I'm not screen sharing right now. I'm showing people my beautiful
You're developing hairy face.
My Octobeard Fest beard.
Mm-hmm.
Hey man, pirate season starts on Saturday. Shut up.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. Oh my god.
Yo ho, a pirate's life for me.
Someone anyway.
That sounds a little bit too cute to be very scary, Michelle. So I don't think it really quite works.
Because I'm so close to Disney.
Oh, okay. Well, fair enough. So you're a Disney pirate. Got it. Okay.
If I'd known, I would have brought my beer growler in for the call today, but I didn't realize it was pirate season.
Yeah, I don't actually know the season for pirates. It's surprising to me that it's this time of year, but okay, sure. Yeah. Up something here. Yeah. So
Corey's not growing for pirate season.
No. Yeah, he had to give up. I mean, his mustache was causing too much of a stir, so he had to stop that kind of thing. Yeah, you know who you are. All right, cool. Well, while Dan's finishing that up, and so Corey, anything to report from SEO land over there? You spent like all day working with our clients, right?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, pretending to work with clients. I mean,
Yeah.
Oh wait, are they on this call? I'm working with clients.
No, could be.
No, it's going well. It's going well. Again, if you're looking to hire people, use the automated system that we teach you, because it is fantastic. Just brought on another blogger, and it streamlined the process tremendously. And if you are using the automated system and you're using Gmail, use the plugin Reportive.
No, what's this? The plug-in reporting? What's that?
Reportive, Rapportive. So
he goes and grabs their social profiles and shit, right?
yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah.
So you can find out everything about them if it's connected to that email address. You can find their Facebook, their LinkedIn, their Twitter.
Huh.
It's awesome. So
That's cool. Yeah. Fact checking with the employees. Reportive. That's a good one.
exactly.
Yeah. And so now we have, I think, 4 writers. 4.5.
3.5. We got a half guy running around on a skateboard.
Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah, but yeah, 4 at the moment.
And so, you know, the other thing we need to talk about is the 3 kinds of English we're doing content for. Yeah. There are some minor little details there, you know, the spelling of odd words and stuff.
Flavor, color.
Yeah, century.
Okay, boss.
Yeah, let's see. So Dan looks like that's a spreadsheet, Dan. Oh my God, sure, everybody can read that.
Yeah, well, no, they can't. But I can do that zoom in thing, which is the trick.
Yeah, zooming in. Ooh.
How about now? Can you see things now?
Can you see me now? Yes. Yeah.
So basically, what we've done here is we've combined the data from 3 things into one thing, and so we've got product performance data out of analytics based on the SKU, and what I was doing there was changing the SKUs on these to say something other than the actual SKUs, which might give away more than we want to. But for each of those, we have a report on how many were sold, and this is we did 90 days worth of data on this one. How many purchases there were? We can calculate, you know, the revenue, the average selling price we have, the average quantity, average transaction size, and then from the pages performance report, the landing pages report, not the landing pages, but the all pages report data that's in analytics, we figured out how many visits that product page got during the same period of time to give us what's the conversion rate from that product page, giving us a per visit value to that. We have a margin multiplier, which is just based on what percentage we're willing to spend, and that gives us a bid target, which is basically this is the maximum amount we'd possibly think about betting on Google's AdWords. Now we have a multiplier that we use, which is so we're taking 50% because these guys want to be fairly aggressive. So we're taking 50% of the bid target as their starting bid, and then we have these are basically classified based on something that we're going to bid on because we like the numbers well enough, or the ones down here that are the orangish version of red that I changed it to so you could read it are the ones that aren't doing very well. The interesting thing about this exercise is when I like to do this while I'm actually looking at the catalog in the store, because sometimes we'll see stuff that, well, gosh, it converts really well, but it's, you know, it's way down in the second page of the list of products in the category, and this is one that we found as a red flag. So this is our lowest or second lowest performer in the category, but it's actually the first item listed in the category on the site when you hit that page. And so we've got as a dog taking in the most valuable piece of screen real estate that should be given to a cat.
Yeah. Hmm.
And if you're a dog person, you would just switch that and say we've got a cat sitting on dog real estate. But you know, not only did we get to a place where we could actually bid these up, and we're up about 15-20% so far after setting these product level bids in revenue from the shopping campaigns, and that's just a couple days in. So I'm reasonably pleased with the outcome of this one. And then I'm going to zoom back a little bit because we actually can do this. And so this is the whole set of the top performing products from the top revenue products from each category, and then we've got several other categories here that we've actually gone and set product level bids. But that one up at the top there is the largest category in terms of revenue in the store. So you know, you can do the math, you can set the bids, and the math does work. It's just something that you've got to grind out. We've got people that are going through training right now to learn how to do it. And then, of course, we've got people that are just signing up this week. If you didn't get the offer from us in your email, we can get that to you.
Yeah, I was just trying to find that, actually, while you was yakking. I know I have had it. Just don't seem to have it just like right at hand. So very easy. Um, I know I shouldn't use it. I'm not find it. You know, all the other blather we do in chat here. Oh no, those are the edit links. I want. Okay, I don't have it. That was really finding that, eh? So, Dan, do you have it happen in that email? Do you have that email with it or not? Okay.
I can give everybody the links, but I want to make sure we don't have anybody with questions out here that would like to talk to us about internet marketing stuff.
Yeah, I did have a sticky here. It says, if you have questions for us, type them in the chat. I don't have any questions. We don't have a lot of them these days. That's because we can't really gotten speed to get, do this every week. It happens. Yeah. So, and I guess they must have all have been using Skype chat and the forum. So, are there any questions today? So yeah, I think we're good on questions, Dan. If anybody, well, let's just do this. If you're interested in the shopping program that Dan and Sean manage, the shopping ads or even PPC ads, he's got a heck of a deal that you can get in on, and I guess just mail support if you're interested in that. If you're running a store, this holiday season is a heck of a good time to do it. And right now, shopping trends is almost there.
So Leslie, I've actually got short links set up. I just wanted to make sure I was giving people the right ones.
There you go. Well, why don't you dump them in chat then, Dan?
So, is this the chat?
I don't know. I can't see your screen.
Margaret does have a question about attribution modeling, so we should figure out how to get her up there, yeah?
Well, let's see. I submitted one question about attribution modeling. Is that the final slide? Oh, I guess we could talk about that. Oh, that must have been a lifeline question that you submitted, I guess. Yeah. And then, okay, there's you've got the short links. Excellent.
So, I think it'd be cool. Let's see if we can get Margaret in here and talk about that.
Well, okay. Let's see here. I just need to get that link, right? Then send it to her directly. So let me see if I can make that happen. Reply. And good. Oh, come on. Don't your This eats a lot of machine. That was me, man. That's into Margaret chat post. There. I made it happen. Not on camera, for your sake.
Margaret claims that she doesn't look good on camera.
Yeah. Well, that's okay. There's this fanciful thing you can do to just show your picture, your avatar. You can actually turn the camera off. There's a set of controls at the top of Google Hangouts where you can do that if you really are just too shy to show your face. But anyway, we'll at least be able to talk with you. Let's see. Well, yeah, that's nice, Dan. Thanks. That's really good. I'm not seeing if she's not coming in yet. This is one of those things we probably need to arrange for people in advance, because the internet marketing lifestyle where you don't leave your house for days at a time, you know how it is. Right? You can end up looking like Dan.
I started looking like me.
Yeah, right. Yeah, she says I'm still in my PJs. See, that's the internet marketing lifestyle at its finest. So, I suggest we probably ought to.
I think she's got a reason to. It's like 4 in the morning there.
Oh, okay. I did not know that. Where is Margaret? Or the link takes you to register? No. Oh, did I send you the wrong link?
Australia.
Oh, okay. I know what I did.
Margaret's down under.
Oh, she is? Okay. Oh, wait, hang on. I forgot to, yeah. I was sending you the wrong link. I'll send you the correct one. There we go. That's the correct one. I did send you the registration link. I was being silly. Now I sent her the live link, so she'll be able to me.
That sounds like it'll work fast.
Yeah.
Okay, so you got the right one out there now, right?
In fact, do have the right one out there now. I don't think that camera's level. Either the camera's not level or my whiteboard crooked. My whiteboard might be crooked. Just notice that.
I think it's perspective.
Oh, yeah. It could be perspective. Okay, fine enough. Need to figure out how to zoom the camera too. Details. All the fun of doing a studio. All right. Well, cool. So let's see what Michelle has to say. So, what's any like cool wins from any of your coaching students recently?
Well, I think, we talked about one of the cool wins. I am working on getting some case studies because you and I disagreed that was possible for them to get that many conversions, so we need some better verification of numbers.
Yeah, I'm not buying it. You got 400 signups out of 490 clicks.
I'm with you on that. But we'll see. We'll see.
I want to know how they did it. That's for sure.
Well, if so, we need to replicate that fast, right, for everybody, and times 10.
Yeah.
Really, a lot of people are digging in. I think one of the things I'm beginning to learn, and it's not a big surprise, right? When you own your own business and you're the one that's chiefly responsible for the marketing, there are all these other things that you want to do for your business except marketing, even though your job is marketing. And so even having someone like me who is trying to poke them with hot pokers and things like that sometimes isn't enough. And you do have to really evaluate, are you willing to put in some time to this and prioritize it? And that really, I think, for the clients that I'm seeing who say, yes, I'm cutting out time, I'm making this work, and I'm not taking no for an answer, are getting better results and are getting results. And even ones who are just trying, like it's not that they necessarily know everything they're doing, but they're going, okay, I'm dipping my toe in the water and I'm going to try this. I'm going to try this. And those people are getting way better results than people that try nothing.
Well, of course.
And I know that's a duh, right? But sometimes people don't get that because they're too busy working.
And to be fair, the marketing is not only job. I mean, I'm working with Eric S. And one of the biggest things is actually in the back office, back half of the business.
Right.
And another client in the same way, the drum people, they say drums. That was the same thing. They had huge systems behind the scenes. That's what happens. We have a container on the water from China too. So it looks like Margaret made it in. So that's good. Welcome. Can you? Oh, and she's muted. Would you like to unmute yourself, Margaret? I mean, I can unmute you if you want me to. Are you there?
Yeah, this is just really weird. The delay is so big. I'm still hearing you talking.
Well,
Michelle only just stopped talking, and I'm not quite sure where the conversation is right now.
That's interesting. Well, I'm pretty sure that Google Hangouts relays via the moon. So that could account for that.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
What was your question about attribution?
Thank you.
Wow, there must be a long delay.
Yeah, massive.
This is kind of strange because there's not really a delay between the four of us, and you came in with the same link. That's odd. But on the other hand, you are a long ways away. So I guess that's the problem.
Maybe it would be better to do this through the Skype chat, or.
Well, why don't you tell us what your question is in some detail?
Okay. Looking in analytics, I'm looking at the attribution modeling, and I know that the last click is the worst model to use, so I've been using the time decay. And the reason I'm looking at this is they've only just recently turned on display advertising, and the CPA on display is like 3 times what the financial controller has told me his minimum order size needs to be. So I'm trying to figure out, is it an attribution modeling issue? Is it that they really are just literally pouring money out the door with display? It definitely plays a role in acquiring new sales, but I'm just not sure that it's actually creating the right return, and I'm trying to figure out the best way to set up the modeling to be more accurate in terms of where the advertising spend is actually going. Sorry, this is really hard to frame an intelligent question because I'm hearing myself talking over top of myself. And it's
Okay,
just...
so Margaret, a couple things. Yeah. First thing, I'm gonna, it's one of my work items is to get a video together on that because it's something that came up as relevant to the UTE course, and a significant obstacle to people doing stuff was, gosh, I don't know if I want to have people coming in from AdWords and then remarket to them on Facebook and all that stuff, because I can't tell which click is, well, there isn't one click that's solely responsible, right? But the attribution stuff is, it's a challenge to figure out how it's supposed to work and how you can do the math. Most of the time, you can actually run a small campaign experiment to find out. Which means, so what are the sources of traffic that we're trying to juggle between here again?
I was wondering. Oh, we've lost Margaret.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's going to be a total fail. I think that we probably need to do a Hangout isolated to one continent, I guess. Yeah. So that's just not going to work. As Terry points out, it's probably going by satellite. Second and a half is probably about right. Well, let's, in general.
So I can finish the general concept here, though.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So let's say that I'm running AdWords ads at a landing page from a campaign in Google AdWords. You with me so far, Leslie? Not going too fast for you, am I?
Yeah, no, I think I got.
I wasn't worried about Margaret because she actually understands all this marketing stuff. I was just worried about you. So, I get them to a landing page and I pixelate them and stick them in a remarketing audience. Then I show them display ads, right?
Yep, that's what I would do.
And so I can actually run 2 different versions of that campaign. But the thing to me is, it's not about getting the attribution right, it's figuring out how does the whole campaign work all together. Because there's no right model that that tells you, but actually running the test. And so if I run a campaign experiment and I split my campaign into A and B, so I have campaign A, they go and they get pixel A, and I continue on the remarketing. They're in campaign B, they get pixel B, and I don't show them the remarketing.
Right.
Those both have the same campaign tagging, so the remarketing from A has the same campaign tagging as the AdWords from A. And so I can tell when I'm getting conversions, did they come from A or did they come from B? A is the campaign that included remarketing, B is the campaign that did not, and then I don't have to figure out attribution modeling. I just have to run a test like this every now and then to see what the difference is.
That's interesting.
And that'll do better for me than first click, last click, middle click, conjoined twins clicks, all the other I mean, you can pivot table yourself to death, but you can actually just run this as a campaign experiment, and figure it out. You can take 10%, 20% of the campaign traffic and not remarket to it, and actually measure it separately.
Yeah, because the thing that strikes me about attribution models is it is true that last click is wrong. I would maybe take issue with it being the worst. I would say that they're all equally bad.
Yeah, most of the time it's better than first click.
Yep.
But
better than first click. It's just, and I was again just having this conversation with a brand new client, search and probably consulting as well, because they have some other things that they want to do. But it gets to what we do in content marketing, and it gets to the roots of why UTE. One of the reasons why UTE works so well is that you need those multiple impressions, you need those multiple touches with a prospect really to make the sale. And so you attribute it to anywhere, average it out, whatever. I mean, there's no correct answer. You'd have to somehow realize what really is going on inside the brain of each individual person with each individual touch point. That's insane. That's you can't even aggregate data like that. And I used to laugh at offline advertisers and go, oh, well, that advertising is not trackable. Well, it's true, and now online, I mean, most of what we do, we have a way to convince ourselves we have tracking, but the reality is the tracking has so many holes in it that a lot of it's just billboards on the highway that we're not really able to track its effect. But I like that with your aggregated approach, where you just have with and without remarketing, it still doesn't. That still doesn't do something for you. For example, what's my interaction in terms of brand building and conversion rate increase from running both AdWords and being on the first page of organic results at the same time.
That's true. But my favorite question when I sign up for something or fill out a form or whatever, and they say, "Where did you hear about us?" It's like, well, it's complicated. I mean, the fact is, attribution. If there was a model where you could just go ask everybody, did those display ads that you barely noticed, how much of the effect did that have? Did the news feed ads? What was it that? Well, it was all of it. Or sometimes just one thing, right? Sometimes they didn't even notice that you existed until they searched for you at the last step and found you. But the approach that I like is to actually link those two things together as a single campaign, because they're running together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true, and it's just, I mean, this technique for demonstrating how powerful the other impressions are is unfortunately isolated to just teasing apart that specific case of the model.
Is it, Leslie? I'm going to jump on that whiteboard behind you and draw some pictures if you're not careful. But just think, I mean, you could have a campaign that you've labeled with the same name that reaches out to Facebook, that reaches to your email. I mean, you can, if you wish to, build as complicated a campaign as you want to. I mean, some of the campaigns that we're designing right now, there's 4 channels in them. I mean, that's like the average of what you and Corey do with SEO, really, right?
Yep.
It's and sometimes more, right? When we do paid amplification, that adds another channel. So you can actually use a consistent tagging scheme depending on how far you want to go. But the biggest question most of the time is, am I spending my money wisely here or not?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And you can get to that answer a lot faster, and then you can say, okay, well, clearly this is too much, right? I can back off because I do know what just search was worth, and I do know what search plus remarketing was worth, and maybe it's just a matter of my budget is too much. I'm oversaturating people, and if I can lower the budget, I can find out that I get a different campaign performance.
Yeah, no, that's fair. There's, I mean, certain things that. Yeah, I think, well, I had to think through that. I mean, it works for anything we really have a campaign right, yeah. It doesn't really work for just raw organic search, but you don't necessarily need that.
They don't even want you to know that it's raw organic search anymore over at Google, pal.
Yeah, I know that. Yeah, that's certainly a true thing. Yeah. Okay, cool. Well, awesome. That is kind of interesting approach to that. Okay, cool. Well, do we have any closing words of wisdom here? We're a few minutes past our hour. We could ask Margaret, I guess, and wait 40 or 50 seconds to be sure if we'd actually answered her question or not. Sorry, Dan, I had to drop out. The list is too big. AdWords, display, and email.
Yeah, you can add the campaign tags to the email also that actually match that campaign, if they're part of the same campaign. But that's, yeah, I mean, we're right where you've got a lot of other stuff going on and you may already have a relationship with them before they searched. It won't tell you that, but it will tell you what's the difference between what I make when I spend money here and when I spend money just here.
That's right. Yep. Yeah.
And when the biggest problem is the math problem, and to me it usually is, you can figure that out.
Right. Yeah. Cool. All right. Excellent. Well, so I believe we're planning on coming back next week, correct? So same
we are.
Same back channel, and I think if I understand this correctly, the registration link will be the same, but we'll send an email out to everybody so that everybody gets this and can register for that. But we're planning on doing these as public events every Tuesday at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. And so, if there are any last words, now's the time. Corey, Dan, Michelle, anyone?
My last word is this stuff works a lot better when you actually do it.
There's that, and if you'd like us to have your help doing it, there's a sticky note there about PPC 1, 2, and 3. That's which one's PPC 1? Is that shopping or is that search campaign?
PPC 1 is shopping, PPC 2 is search, and PPC 3 is both. And I guess we should remind the folks, our members, that we're going to get one last email out to you to remind you that you can sign up for the project management service with Michelle while she's still not toting around a full roster of clients.
Yes, that's true. So let's see, when are we sending that mail? Is that today or tomorrow?
If Michelle's sending it, it'll probably go out today. If I'm sending it, it'll probably go out tomorrow.
Yeah, or maybe So, all right. So I guess then motion carries. Michelle is sending the email.
I hired Michelle for the same reason that everybody else should. She's really good.
Get shit done. And so Michelle's going to send out an email about project management service to help people, get stuff done. Dan,
and that'll take her all of about 3 minutes because that's how long it takes her to whip out crazy good email copy. Yeah. And we shouldn't put that out there and tell people she can do that trick every time because maybe she can't.
Yeah, probably not. And then if you want to have Dan manage campaigns, I mean, we're doing this push later in the week, and so at some point we're going to pull back and say, whoa. So if you're interested in having him manage your shopping campaigns, and if you're in e-commerce and you don't have shopping campaigns running, I don't know what the heck is wrong with you. Unless you only sell in the summer. Okay, so our beach toy person and let's see a couple others, are counter-cyclical. But if Q4 is like the big quarter for you and you're doing e-commerce, you should be doing shopping campaigns. Period. I don't think. Dan, is there a counterexample of that?
Well, if you're selling stuff that doesn't get sold through a shopping cart of your own, say, or a Yahoo store, I mean, something that's under your domain, because one of the things you have to do is verify that you control the domain. That's why we can't run ads for stuff on Amazon, because Amazon won't let us at their Webmaster Tools account for some reason. It's weird. Okay. And by the way, Amazon is not participating in Google Shopping campaigns, kids. So if you want to go someplace where Amazon ain't, there's the place where they ain't. It's worth to do a couple of queries for products that you sell and see if you see shopping ads. And if you don't ever see shopping ads, then maybe we want to talk about it. But otherwise, yeah, you should be in it. The ROI on these things is typically 3 to 5 times what we get from search ads, and it just doesn't make sense if you're running search ads in particular not to be running shopping campaigns as a retailer.
Yeah, good deal. Okay, so with that, we'll leave it till next week. Thanks, everybody, for showing up. And in about 90 seconds, this will be live on YouTube, thanks to the magic of Google Hangouts. Bye-bye, y'all.